Welcome to Dadmode, a podcast that is the triforce of gaming, streaming, and dad life in general. So how was your week? What was changed on your end?
My week was pretty good. It was filled with a lot of Starfield this week. I work. It was filled with a lot of work. No, I played a lot of Starfield this week too. And work was work. And my kids were. I grew more gray hair. Let's put it that way. How about you?
I had a slack week at work. Like I did my Friday. I went. I don't feel like working, so I actually drove into the inner city where they had like an expo on, and met up with another guy, and then we got coffee, and then walked around the expo for the morning, and then I went, okay, that's my day, and went home. That was that was it. I called it short, but massive busy week with the kids. Like we had one kid had disco on at school, another one had a dance competition for her school. They were going for state. I think they won state, so they're going to nationals now. Sick children, hospital appointments. Like, it was minimum time for me, but that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, one of the things though has come up lately is like a lot of my kids have been playing Roblox online. Yeah, there's this conversation about how does that look? You know, children getting online. What do you bring up with them? You know, there's so many things, and I don't want to be a parent. I don't want to be a helicopter parent. I do want to be a parent, but I don't want to be a helicopter parent where I'm over the top and, you know, removing it, because I think that's not the best way to do it either.
No, I don't think so, because then they kind of just use you as a crutch, and they never kind of learn how to take care of themselves or like evaluate what they're reading and what they should respond to, what they should ignore, what they should tell us, you know?
Yeah. So one thing I found, in particular, some games have it. Since then, like Roblox, you actually got a whole lot of parent controls inside it. So you can set up things so they can't talk to people that they're not friends with. Like, they've got to be friends with in order to have audio conversations with them, or even text conversations privately. And then my son, because I was looking into it, went into like all the computers in the house are on a family link, I believe Microsoft calls it. It's a way to put all your kids into the same, you know, it gives you a report on, cool, I can see what they're looking up on the internet. But they don't look at much on the internet. I could say that it's boring. I'm not in the point to go, what the hell is this site like? And we haven't got there yet. But inside of that, you can actually set online gaming inside the Xbox side of things. They have an online side built in for Game Pass and Xbox Live, so you can limit the games they play, and then also what they can do inside of that in terms of communication, which I think important, I guess. Like, I've heard my son talk. I think he would be the problem child on the internet, to be honest.
Yeah, you can't limit that way. I mean, they have their tablets through Amazon, and we set limits for that. They have Xbox, we have limits for that, and they have their phones and games. There's limits and apps and stuff on that. And like, if it's a book or educational, it's like, go nuts, do whatever you want, you know. But when it's the games, like, we kind of limit like the type of game and like how long they can play various things, and like, or you have something like Among Us, which I was telling you before we started recording, where there's a chat room that you can't really moderate because it's built into the game. So that in particular is like, I might be a little more helicoptery with my 9-year-old who's playing Among Us. I'm like, would they rate? Oh, okay, all right, it's cool. But you know,
my kids actually playing Among Us together. They were at one stage. They put it all. Yeah, they'd played, like 3 of them were playing online. I don't even know if they had other. I probably should have checked, but I don't think they were playing with other people. I know they were playing with just their group of friends online and like custom lobbies. I don't even know. Is Among Us still a good thing? Is that a big thing? Like, I know. I wanted to play more of it.
I don't know. I never really got into that. So
we played it once.
Did we? We did?
Yeah, a very long time ago.
That must have been when I was maybe having a few more sips of whiskey on stream, because I used to do that a lot on stream.
No, I think that we did it once, but it was like 20. So like a full game. It was Duty Beard, you, me, Captain Crunch, Real Rain. All I remember is Goulette, because I killed her and then she just held it against me for like 3 weeks. Like, how dare you do that to me? She didn't want to talk to me for weeks.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that now. That was a fun night. I don't know why I didn't do that again. Oh, now I do. I'm not even going to go into it. So you kind of related to that, on a sidetrack just a little bit is like we're kind of monitoring what the kids are doing online, what's going on in chat rooms, but also streamers. We're both streamers. I've had kids that are definitely under 16 come into my chat and they're talking and I'm like, does your parents know that you're just hanging out with like 40-year-olds? Like, that's weird to me. Like,
Yeah, that's...
Why are you doing that? And I'm saying some nasty shit. Like, why are you here?
Yeah. I had that at one stage. A couple of my son's friends came on and started talking to me because there was a little period there where I actually let my son stream, but his stream was totally different. His stream, there was like a 5-minute delay in chat. He couldn't stream without me being available to mod the channel because then I could see the chat messages before he could. It was highly filtered. Like if you did not basically talk like a preschooler, you could not enter into that chat. And he didn't have a camera on. So he had the audio. He could still gameplay and narrate because children love to narrate when they game. Like it just seems to be this generation. They love to narrate and talk a lot while they're gaming, I found. All mine do it.
I think they just don't stop talking is what it is.
Yeah.
My oldest, the moment his eyes open in the morning to the moment they shut, his mouth is going nonstop. Just nonstop.
We've actually had 2 days of quietness in our house because our oldest has been sick. And I call her Foghorn. Her nickname's Foghorn because there's one volume. That's it. It's just this. It's off the scale. It's
right.
And I'm like, I'm standing right here. We're side by side. I don't know why you're yelling at me right now.
My younger one, he does the same thing, and I'm like, bud, I'm literally here. Yeah. Or like we'll be in the middle of a conversation, and it's just like, blah, I'm like, Jesus, stop.
Yeah. That's a big call. My oldest Foghorn big years because of that. But yeah, her being sick, really quiet household. Like real quiet.
And not it's probably not that bad either.
No, it's not. I think I made that comment last night. I'm like, this is nice. This is different. It's really relaxing at the moment.
It's like when probably twice a month they go to their grandmother's house for a weekend.
Yeah.
We go out there, we drop them off. My wife and I come home. We come in. We're like, wait, you hear that? We're like, yeah, nothing. There's nothing. There's no sound. It's beautiful. I'm not yelling at somebody every 5 seconds to stop doing that. Yeah. Oh, it's lovely.
Yeah. I love my children. Just saying that.
Yeah. I love my children dearly.
Anyone sees this?
Yeah. This is purely fictional.
But just going to bring back about kids and online. I got to think about what you were talking about, the toxicity of people. So
yeah.
I'm in the mindset of it's gonna happen. I don't like to cushion my children in terms of reality, what the world is like. I don't want to give them false expectations. I hate the participation awards at school, but I'm actually very open with that with my children. Like I got a ribbon. I'm like, who cares? You fucking didn't win. Like I'm honest here, right? You didn't win. You didn't cut place. You got a ribbon. It means nothing.
I've been with my wife when she's dropped my kids off. She's like, make some friends and be nice and try your hardest. And I'm like, win. Yeah. And she's like, stop that. I'm like, well, what do you want me to say?
Yeah.
When you go to your job, like, they don't care if you tried hard on a project. They care if you got the fucking project done.
Exactly. It's outside school, that doesn't happen. And I don't try to shelter them from bullying. Like, I know online bullying is horrible and some of the things that happens, but
yeah,
it's something that, and we actually have special days at school now in Australia to talk about online bullying and the effects it has, because there was a young girl who took her own life. She was a very young girl. She took her own life, and it was from online bullying. And now it's a big copycat school. So they actually have a day that all children celebrate and remember her and talk about the effects of online bullying. So it shouldn't happen, but it happens, I guess, is the one. So I like to give my children, there's a reason for it. People can do it. They could be not happy with themselves. They just like to make fun of others and just to remove themselves. If they don't want to do it, don't engage. Remove yourself. If you can ignore it, so be. Ignore it. Mute them. Whatever. But there's something, it's out there. You're not going to avoid it. You're going to see it at some point there. This is the two ways you can handle it. I give them the idea of how they can handle
it. Yeah. That was a good story. Great point. And it makes me think, like, when I was growing up, this wasn't an issue because online wasn't as much of a thing. We had ICQ and IRC and ICQ and things like that, but you added friends and I was rampant on ICQ. Now I think about it, but it wasn't like your follower count wasn't a thing that anybody cared, but now it's part of your social identity, which kids can use to bully you or pick on you or tease you, and it's a big deal. And like, hold on one second. Sorry, I thought I heard my kids actually. It's hard because like I don't. It's hard to understand like how to take care of them in that situation because I didn't go through it. If somebody wanted to bully me, they did it to my face, and that was it. This is different. So it's a difficult thing to do, and like we don't want to be helicopter parents, like you said. But like until we kind of figure out and navigate how to deal with this new world, given how so different we were, it's hard. I find it hard.
Yeah, no, I find it hard. Like trying to figure out what's the best way to handle it. And that's what I said. The best thing I can do is just give the kids tools and ideas on how to handle it on their end. Where, let's say, I can't stop them from doing these things because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a thing. They're gonna be experience it. But how do I tell them how to handle it? As I said, you don't have to disconnect. If you need to disconnect, that's a point that something's pretty bad. Disconnect. Report and ban. That's another thing. As much as other child safety, teach your kids how to report and ban people in a game. Mute them, report and ban. Like it's as much as teaching them how to game, you should teach them also how to do that. Because I do that as an adult. I can't be bothered putting up with someone listening to them online. I'll mute them. But we do it as streamers. We ban people all the time in chat.
Absolutely, we share our ban list because people suck.
Yeah,
but blocking people on social media is my new therapy. That's how I deal with crap half the time now. Yes,
I said that changing that filter on X Twitter to remove kick was like the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Going, hold on, I could block everyone that wants to talk about kick platform and not hear about it on my feed. Lord. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember when I did that. That was it was so lovely. It was so lovely to do that.
And I said I was only going to do it for a week or a month. It's still going. Like I'm enjoying it that much. I'm not turning that off. It's now a permanent part of my life.
Yep. It's great. But so it is hard. It's different than it used to be. If you're a father listening to this, chances are that you could be a younger millennial who did grow up with the internet a lot, but I think that it's continued to grow, and I feel like it's gotten more toxic.
It's evolved.
It was,
it's evolved.
And even X. X is worse, or Twitter. I can't say that word.
I can't say
Twitter
X.
is worse than worse. Twitter got better, and then Elon Musk changed it, and now it's basically unfiltered. And he even made it so you can't block people.
Oh,
well, that's one thing he's trying to introduce. You can't block somebody.
I'm going to keep an eye on that because I do have people blocked on my Twitter that I don't want talking to me. Even some of those people reached out and emailed me actually. Like found
Really?
like my
Really?
bearded Nova email just to keep contacting me. Some people that annoyed me would email me. I'm like, at
Right.
least emails a lot easier to manage. To be honest, emails you can just
Yeah.
delete and ignore it. But
Yep. So along with the online game and moderating that, um, adjacent to that is things like Discords as well, because
so
that's a big thing in the gaming community,
so
and
my
that is
son has a Discord.
bad.
My son actually has a
Really?
Discord. I put it down there because I got him to create his own Discord. I don't even know. I could be a member. My Discord list is huge. I swear I'm a member in there. But his Discord is only for his friends at school.
Okay.
Main reason for it, he was playing online games with his friends, like they play Fortnite together or something like that, and they wanted to talk. So they would all set up their iPads and do a
Yeah.
FaceTime on their iPads while gaming on their Xbox or the PlayStation, and then blah, 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 blah. You could just hear the chatting, and then because they've got no headphones in there, they got the half a headphone on to listen to the game while yelling into it. And I didn't want to hear him. So I'm like,
Yeah.
create a Discord, get all your friends to join Discord. They can join it on their iPads if they want to do it on their iPads. I said, you've got a PC, join it on your PC, put your headset on. I don't have to hear you. Well, that was my thing, but I set boundaries with his Discord. It's only for his school friends. So I check in occasionally. Not much is happening there. They use it purely as a group chat for online gaming. So they don't tend to use in-game chat. It's all inside their Discord, which I think is a safer way to do it too. If no one can hear, they can't identify if it's a child or a girl or anyone like that. You can't tell when it's in a Discord what's happening there. If it's in a group, they're in their private little conversation.
Yeah. So you brought something up there. So I have two boys. You have boys and girls. Do you find that it is different doing this stuff for girls versus your boys?
Yes. Yeah, son's not really interested in social media at all. He'll watch stuff.
Okay.
He's happy in watching stuff. And that's it. Where girls are more interested in photos and videos. I know my oldest was doing TikToks for a while there, but I tried to support her into getting into content creation, but I don't think she really took it on as much. I think she realized after starting how much work was involved. It wasn't as simple as I'm just going to meme a song or something and then get views. She realized that it requires a lot of work. And probably didn't like the fact that I had way more followers and interactions and stuff than what she did.
You guys who are listening to this can't tell the fact that I'm cracking up because I'm picturing his teenage daughter on TikTok and then running across a picture of her dad in a bikini.
Well, actually, this is the oldest one that's done it. She told her friends that at school.
Really?
So apparently they've all had a laughing, like they all think it's hilarious and funny that I've been on TikTok in a bikini and I've streamed in a bikini funny. And stuff. Like she's actually showed her friends that they actually think, one, cool, but your dad doesn't take crap from anyone. You can't make fun of your dad. And two, that it's cool that he's doing social media. And I think at the same time, it actually wasn't as bad as what I always thought about how that was going to go down. She just kind of brought it straight out before anyone else could. And was like, yeah, this is my dad. This is what he does.
Yeah. That's funny. My kids are just, they're like, oh, you yell at other people too. Cool.
It's equal.
It's equal.
But, yeah, it's like I brought up with her that people could make comments and stuff like that when she wanted to do TikTok. Sounds bad, but I tried just correcting some of her habits when it came to making content. It wasn't like bad things. It was more like she would film horizontally for a TikTok. Then when you're looking at it, you'd have to turn your phone. Things like that. And I would go, hey, you should record it like this or do things like that. It's just in case someone wanted to make fun of her for doing things the wrong way. I'm like, hey, if you record and do things properly, there's less chance that people are going to have a pick at you for knacky little things or whatever you do.
You know, I would say our kids are both. All of our kids are lucky because their dads have like really professional setups if they ever wanted to do stuff.
I brought her a green screen, a vlogging kit, so like the thing that holds your phone with a shotgun microphone and the Logi light that sits on top, like things like that. Like, okay, cool. And if you want to sit down at your desk, here's a ring light, like, because I got like multiple lights on it. Here's a ring light. Put the phone here. This will give you that rating. Okay, set it here. Yeah, I'll say they're lucky if they ever want to get into social media. Though we definitely got a lot.
Just make sure you tell them. They don't need 17 cameras like you have.
No. I'm only running 4 at the moment. Again.
Okay, only 4.
Only 4.
Gotcha.
One's really pure laziness because I don't want to move one camera to the other. I just use one for green screen stuff that I never do. Like they're set up ready to go. One day I'll be back. Probably just let's chuck one here and up above. Want to do a top down.
Yeah, you know, I'm starting to get distracted. I'm not going to talk about cameras. But we can have a whole show on just gear.
We'll just do that another time. Just talk about our impulses into buying shit that we don't need.
Yes. Yep. So it's, you know, we've kind of established that it's a different world from when we were younger versus like our kids. I think that like I freak out a little bit more about it than they do because they're growing up with it being the way that it is.
Yes,
and I think that they're able to adjust their behaviors and ignore people better than even I am as an adult because it's still, I don't want to say new, but it's I was older before I really got into this stuff, and so like it still shocks me. Like, what did you just say?
And VoIP wasn't a thing,
right?
VoIP wasn't a thing. It was all text based. When like I think back to the days of like Quake Online, like Quake 1, Quake 2, things like that. And we played it through a weird site to join. Like it was a totally different time, but it was all text. You didn't get VoIP for a very long time. And that's when things changed. When VoIP came on board, that's where you couldn't ignore it as easily, I guess would be the best way to put it. And that's what they've grown up with. You're guarantee your younger gamers nowadays, they don't use text chat at all. They don't that at all.
So, given everything we've said so far, what would be some of your best advice to dads, to parents, in terms of like getting their kids through this online toxicity and gaming and chatting and stuff like that?
Don't shelter your children from it. I really think keeping them in the cave and protecting them too well will probably make things worse for you down the track. They'll want to rebel and get out there and do it because their friends are doing it. The best thing you can do is give them the tools and guidance on how to handle it and how to step away from the problems that they do face online, whether it's banning, blocking, muting, joining their own private thing. And if you teach them online safety in a safe way of online gaming, they're going to do the right thing by you.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And you could also use it as an opportunity to game with them, to spend more and more time with them, because that's great too.
Of course, you can online game bond.
You know, so you're spending time with them, and you're kind of you're not really hovering over them, but you're spending time with them, and you're showing them like good practices for dealing with the BS that's out there.
You really got your player 2 waiting in the house, ready to go.
Absolutely. As long as they're not grounded. Cool. Hey, thanks for tuning into the podcast today. If you like it, be sure to share it, leave comments, and we'll catch you next time on the Dadmode.